deodorant. I could tell right away. I could smell it getting worse. So now I'm back in the bathroom again, wiping with the paper towel. I'm not stinking, at least in my mind I'm not. And you're probably thinking to yourself right now that this is probably the stupidest video I've ever seen.
I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this.
So my alarm wakes me up and I get out the bed and I get ready for work. I packed my lunch. What I had my salad with chicken tenders. I got chicken tenders by accident. I was looking for chicken breasts, but I wasn't reading, and I thought that those were chicken breast minis or bites, and I got them, but it was good with the salad. So I gets to work and I go in the building after I park up. I go in the building. Mind you, it's so hot on my job. It's really hot. I work in a production plant and there's fans around in there and there's air in certain locations, like direct air. Like if you're standing here, the air is right here. But if you're not standing here, then there's no air here. It's like that, right? So about 25-30 minutes into me being clocked in the plant, I noticed, damn, I forgot my deodorant. How do I notice? I could tell right away because I wear deodorant every single day. It's a smell that I'm used to, and I could tell that day that I didn't wear it. So I'm like, okay, we got a 12-hour shift and we got to try to make it through this. It doesn't smell too bad, you know. I could just tell that I didn't put any on, but I don't think anybody else could tell, right? So I'm going through the day, working, sweating as usual. Because like I said, the humidity on my job is pretty high, right? And every now and then, I could smell it getting worse, you know? So what I'm doing is, every now and then I'm doing this. That's when I can really smell it, right? When I do this, it smells halfway decent for some reason because I know that it's not that bad. That's how I feel, you know what I mean? But when I do this, it's like it's all trapped in. I'm wearing a tank top, by the way, and when I go like that, it's like this part of my body is getting air, but this part, like that, whatever's in there is trapped in, so it's worse, right? And I'm like, I'm gonna do this right here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, get me some paper towels, and keep wiping my underarm every time I feel myself sweating. And you're probably thinking to yourself right now that this is probably the stupidest video I've ever seen, right? And you probably find yourself wondering, why are you sitting there still watching the video? But it's interesting and you want to hear the rest of the story. That's why you're watching. So let me continue on. So I'm doing my thug thizzle, you know, working on the line. And mind you, I'm trying to stay away from people. You know, I'm trying not to be too approachable. I'm normally the type of guy, you know, I'll give you pounds. And I'm also the type of guy who can notice when someone smells good. There's a selective few people on my job that wear a lot of perfume. And then there's guys who wear cologne. And they don't have to be all up on me in order for me to smell it. It smells good. I could smell it while you're over there. And I know it's you because you wear it daily. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking in my mind, if I could smell them like that, then they probably could smell me, right? But I don't think anyone would approach me or, you know, clown me or something, right? But they probably talked about me. They probably talked, you smell lip? So what I decided to do about 3 hours into working is I decided to go to my car and go and get my cologne. Because I got a cheap cologne in my car. I ain't going to tell you the name of it. I got a bunch of top quality colognes in the house that I wear on certain days. You know what I'm saying? Certain circumstances requires certain smells, right? But the one that I got in the car, it's my cheap cologne that I got from, I think it's 5 and Below. Matter of fact, I'll let you know. It's called Sinner. Straight like that. I keep it in the car, and I wear it mostly like if I'm at work, you know what I'm saying? Because in my environment, you know, you normally the deodorant does a great job, but it could last me 12 hours. I don't need nothing else. So I goes to my car, I get the Sinner. I'm spraying it all over myself, right? You know how my man was describing that his scene? I went in this, bow! I turned around and I, boom, and I, whoo, that's how I was when I'm spraying my Sinners, right? I'm spraying up here. Mind you, my shirt has no sleeves. It cut off right here. So I'm spraying all of this. I don't put cologne on my skin. I only put it on my clothes. Then I goes back in the job feeling better. Feeling better. I'm walking around saying, I know I smell good. After a while, that shit started to fade off. So now I'm back in the bathroom again, wiping with the paper towel. I'm not stinking, at least in my mind I'm not, right? So I goes to my locker, because I brought the cologne in. I spray some more. Now I feel like, and my wife told me this was going to happen. She said, you're not going to smell good. You're going to smell like cologne mixed with a bunch of musk. But in my mind, I'm like, it's better than only smelling like a bunch of musk. So you know your boy Libs, you know I'm looking at the cup as half full and not half empty. You know what I mean? So now I'm walking around a job and everybody knows I'm not the type of guy that be wearing a bunch of cologne on the job. So they probably saying, he trying to cover that up, wearing all that cologne. I smell cologne and musk. That's probably what they're saying, but I don't know. The air condition is in the break room. Our break room is like fully air conditioned. So when it's time for me to go in there and eat, I'm really skeptical now because I said, I bet you when I go in that break room, everything in me is going to start illuminating. And I don't want to illuminate the break room with what was going on around here. If they could only smell the cologne, I'm good with that. So I just spent a lot of time just sticking to myself on that shift. I'm staying away from people that I normally talk to. I'm all by myself. I don't want nobody to, I just want to make it through the shift so I can get home. You know what I mean? I'm really, really disappointed in myself for forgetting to put my deodorant on. I never forget to put my deodorant on. I might forget to brush my teeth, but I won't forget to put the deodorant on. That's like a given. And I'm going to tell you something, right? There's people in this world that don't wear deodorant. Like, I learned that, well, I'm not going to say all of them do that, but there's certain cultures that do not wear deodorant. You know what I'm saying? And you be wondering why they smell the way they smell. Like when you encounter them or you like, it's because they don't wear deodorant. They might wear something else that could make them smell good or whatever, but you probably don't notice that. You probably smell musk, right? But it doesn't smell bad to them. But to me, on my job, I could smell it, man. You know how it is, people. You could smell yourself. You walking around acting like you don't stink, but I know when I smell somebody that's really stinking, I'll be like, I know he smelled that, because when I'm not smelling good, I could smell myself. So I know you could smell yourself. You just nasty. You walking around here like that. But I didn't want to walk around like that. That's why I sprayed all that cologne all over me, right? And I stayed away from people I kept my conversations limited and I stick to myself. It was a horrible day, I'm not gonna lie, because I noticed that I got to the point where it doesn't matter if you spray some more on you, bro. At this point, you're not even gonna smell the cologne. It's just that it would be way too much that you sprayed on your body already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, forget it, man. I'm just gonna thug it out. You know what I mean? And then when I finally clocked out of work, I was racing to the front door, to the exit door, so I could get up out that job, get in my car. And then I wanted to stop at the store and get me a cup of coffee on my way home. I didn't even do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't even want to go in the store smelling like that. If they got a long line in there, gotta wait in line, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta sit there and wait and there's people around you. I just didn't want anyone else to smell what I was smelling until I'm able to, you know, make it home. That was the goal, you know? So I finally got home. I done showered up, you know what I'm saying? I put my deodorant on. I didn't put any cologne on because I'm sick of cologne for the day. So I don't even have to put any cologne on. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of it. And I feel good. I'm back to my normal self. And I promise myself and I vow to never, ever, as long as I can help it, forget to put cologne on ever again. I appreciate y'all watching this crazy story about how I forgot to put deodorant on. I know I just said cologne, but I meant to say deodorant. You know what I'm saying? How I forgot to put deodorant on. It was horrible. I had a horrible experience, and a lot of y'all that's out there purposely not putting any deodorant on, I recommend that you put deodorant on because it makes your environment so much better. You can help the environment. Trust me, when you walk past people, they smell you. And I know you smell yourself. Listen, watch this video right here. As retarded as it is actually a real video. And people might be interested in it. Shit, I drop videos that are influential. I did a Shannon Sharp Speaks Out video. Watch this dumb video about the deodorant be more successful than the thought-provoking shit. Peace.